I wanted to acknowledge that I have my first CD coming up on 20 years. It's been 20 years of this CD being in the world. Some people have it, just a few. It's like a small drop in the ocean. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about what it means to me. There are some parts that I regret, and I went through some regret or even some embarrassment. And then there's also, just today I have to say that I am really proud of myself for having done it and happy that I did it. Uh, if you see me looking over here, I just want to try to stay on topic. I've got a timer going, which should go off in around 6 minutes, 5.5 minutes. And yeah, this album was recorded 20 years ago. It's called 170206 because that's the day I recorded it. I'm going to talk about this book. I was living in Calgary and I had written some of these songs already, but then I took off on a great adventure to Australia. When I was in Australia, I really abandoned my office kind of working lifestyle. I abandoned the whole cover band thing even before I worked in offices. I also in IT, and I also had a cover band. And before that, even I started working more on open nights and going more into my own songwriting. And then when I went to Australia, I even liberated some more, and I bought some colored pencils. I bought these in Rockhampton, Australia. I bought this book when I was in Melbourne, and I started doodling, and I wrote some songs. Some of the songs were like cliffs of Broome were written on a cliff outside of Broome, like one of those kind of bluffs that overlook the ocean, with my friends Kelly and Cormac. And Traveler Song in my mind, I think I wrote it in the Kelowna Library, but I was going back to in my mind I was going back to Warra Station, which is on the west coast. In Margaret River, I wrote Strong on My Own at a picnic table. I have some of these memories. And I went back to Calgary. I had some encouraging friends, like my friend Dave Simpson's like, yeah, come back, record your CD. And so that's what I did. And I did it with my friend Josh William on this day, February 17th, 2006. And we did it all in one day, and I just like, so do I put you as the producer? And he's like, oh, no. And I'm like, okay, well, there was a cat in the studio. You can hear the cat at the end of the album. So we just put Bob the cat as the producer. I mean, I didn't even know what a producer did. I'm kind of a late bloomer. Like at this point in my life, I was 28, and I was just didn't really know how the music industry worked, and I didn't know what a producer on an album did. We didn't have a producer, but Josh helped. He engineered, put up some mics for me. I wouldn't even give him the engineering credit. I mean, he did what I asked. It's like put up a bunch of mics. Of course, his engineering knowledge at the time got those mics mostly in phase, so that's good. I thought you might like to see this book. I just was remembering. I still have the original artwork somewhere, but I was working on some of the drawing, some of the front cover. I was working on trying to make a good face, and it was getting there. And then I came up with this idea. And so after I recorded the album, I was living with my friend Dave, who was really generous to me. He gave me a place to live. I didn't have much work. Eventually, I was working at a liquor store in Sunnyside, and I would give Dave, like, I don't know if I gave him half my rent or half my pay as rent or what, because it wasn't enough to actually. But he was so generous. He was a good artist friend of mine, a songwriter, and he was going through his own album release at that time. And I kind of fell into a bit of a depression because I had just been around Australia for almost a year, and then coming back to Calgary at first seemed exciting, but then it started to get really like, it kind of hit me like, ooh, I traded in like this great adventure and a lot of freedom to now kind of like be kind of poor and not have any money. And I'm in Calgary again. And, if you've been in Australia for a year, Calgary can kind of seem a little unexciting. And also, I started to become self-conscious about the record that I had recorded in February. And it came out finally in May. So I kind of went through a dip of maybe a month where Dave was really kind to me, but he's like, "Yeah, man, you're depressed." But I pulled out of it and I got excited about the release of this album, which came out in May. And but I do wish that I would have had some better business and art sort of mentorship at that time in my life. I didn't know much about the business. I didn't know much about putting a CD or even making a great CD. I just knew, like when I had the CD, I just suddenly felt empowered, like I was among the people that inspired me. You know, like now I'm one of them, and now I can play shows. Like it'll be easier for me to book gigs and stuff because I got a CD, and it's like it made me feel like I was in the game. But in the end, it's a pretty simple raw CD. I remember I had an encounter with David Ward from CKUA. May he rest in peace. And I ran into him at a party at Al's place. It was get together at Al's place, and he was just talking about how CKUA was a great spot for indie artists to have their stuff. And I was just like, well, I don't think CKUA is going to play my album. And he's just like, why wouldn't we? You know? And he's like, so he took a copy and he listened to it, and he gave me some very kind and honest feedback about the album that I think I didn't know how to listen to it. I think I was such a moron at the time. I just thought, like, he's from a radio station, and maybe I can use his words to, even though it's like kind of a negative review, it wasn't negative, but it wasn't glowing. And I just thought, yeah, any press is press. And I asked him, I was like, do you think I could use these words to help promote the CD? And he didn't respond to that. And I don't blame him. It's so silly. So there's the timer, and I don't feel like I'm done yet. I think I will go a little longer. Ciao, timer. But he was right. Like, it took me a long time. It took me a couple years to realize that the CD was just an interesting demonstration of what I could do. It was an idea, you know, sitting in front, like I wanted to play the songs like as if was playing a live set, you know, but we had to do it in several takes. We broke the songs up into 3 sets of 3 or 4, I can't remember. And it was a good idea, but it just wasn't going to be a groundbreaking album. I mean, but I wanted that, but at the same time, I just wasn't able to see, you know, it took me a long time. I remember when I was in New Zealand, I got there in 2006, so it was already maybe 6 months after the CD, maybe even less. And so like for my first while in New Zealand, the CD in Wellington, like the CD was my ambassador, and I made all my friends there. But it was probably very shortly after that, like less than a year, when my friend Ryan said to me one time, we were probably around a fire out in the back garden of his place. He's like, you need a new CD. And at the time, I don't know how I took that. Like, I'm sure I probably just thought, yeah. But I don't think it really connected that I really needed to make a new effort. And I didn't make that new effort for probably 5 years, you know. So interesting time of my life. Really empowered. I was listening a lot, like, to a guy named Lester Quitsaw. I liked Xavier Rudd. I liked Ben Harper. I like Jack Johnson. I like those guys. We're talking 2004, 2005. And yeah, I don't know. What I did at the time just seemed to... And also the fact that I was backpacking around Australia and playing in pubs and restaurants and doing some dishes and playing and getting paid to play was really cool, but I would play around campfires. I don't know. I just felt like a pretty free spirit, and that music kind of spoke to me at the time. And it is what it is. It's an album that I'm very happy to have in my life. And yeah, don't know much more to say. I will say that there's one song on it called Deadbeat Blues, which I regret and lament the lyrics of. Not all of it. I don't mind saying, you know, prick, shit, that kind of stuff. But there's a few things in there that definitely shouldn't have been in there, and I have taken them out. So part of me acknowledging the 20 years of my CD is I play that song. I'm playing that, like the guitar. I played it, you know. So have a listen to the version with, I would say, improved lyrics, and I apologize for the last 20 years of the not so nice lyrics. But if you take a look, the Internet Archive, the Wayback Machine, has my website archived in various dates since 2004. You can see that I wasn't too bright. Like, I just wasn't thinking. Like, I put the word tits a lot. Like, oh, that is so tits. Like, that was my way of saying things were cool, and I thought that was cool. That's not cool. Just want to say that straight out, that is not cool. But my 20 year ago self, who was an immature, not ripened yet, 27, 28, 26, 27, 28 year old, you know, that's the part I think I feel a little bit ashamed about. And like I said, I wish I would have had a business mentor to help me, you know, maybe develop that album a little bit more and come out a little bit stronger. But at least I did it. I did it all on my own, just about, with the encouragement of friends and people. And I had a good run with it. And then, yeah, that's it. I wanted to be candid. It's not scripted. I just had a few things I wanted to talk about, a couple things to mention, show you some of the artwork, and let you go now. 10-minute video.